Hey, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be telling you all of the series that I have not finished and whether or not I plan on finishing them. And I think that this is all of them, but I could be wrong, but I pulled as many as I could. So I'm going to start with the two that are on my Kindle, so I do not have physical copies of them. The first one is the Off-Campus series. So with this series, I read the first 3 books, okay? I do not think I will be finishing it because I know there's a pregnancy trope in the 4th book and that's just not for me. I had fun when I read the first 3, but also like I have really moved away from romance recently. Like it just doesn't hit the same to me anymore. I'm living my best fantasy life right now, so maybe when I roll around to it and romance is like fun again, maybe, but I just think with the pregnancy trope, I'm not gonna finish this series. The next one that I do not physically have is Zodiac Academy. I will be finishing this series though. I've spread them out so like long. I think I read through the 4th book, but I took a break after the 4th book and read all of the Ruthless Boys series, and maybe I read book 5. I can't remember. I would have to look and see which one I'm on. It's on book, I'm either on book 4 or 5. So I definitely will be finishing this, but I don't know when I'll be picking the next one up. I'm perfectly fine with spacing them out and taking my time with the series because it is just like one of those, like, it's good, but it's not good. You know what I mean? Like it's bad, but it's entertaining. So this is a series I know that I will be finishing. Alright, now on to some of the books that I physically have. The next one is the From Blood and Ash series. This is a heavy maybe for me. I really want to finish this series, and like I have most of these books from this and this like side spin-off series that connects with it. I like own all of them. I've only read the first book though, and I read it like probably almost 4 or 5 years ago at this point. So I feel like I would have to reread the first book, and I just don't want to do that. But I do want to understand. I do want to finish them. I just don't know when. Maybe soon. Maybe I'll finally do it. I've been telling myself that for a good 1.5 years now, that I was going to pick this book up, and I just have not. Next, we have the War of Lost Hearts series. I read the first one. We read it like with a book club, like I read it with multiple other people, and I did really enjoy it. And I really want to read Serpent in the Wings of Night, but I told myself I could not do that until I finished this series. And I don't know, maybe I will actually pick this up soon. One of my friends on TikTok has been reading these and talking about how much she loves them. Is this book 2? Yeah, this is book 2. So maybe I will come back to this one, but I just haven't, and I need to because I do want to finish it. I really liked the first book. I'm really bad about taking a break and then never coming back to a series, clearly. Next up, we have Lightlark. This is a hard no for me. Veering slightly into maybe, only because I have a friend that just read the series and she wants me to finish it, but I didn't, like, it was okay. Like, I didn't love it enough to want, when the 2nd book came out, to read the 2nd book, and so at this point, I just don't think that I will. Maybe I would have if the 2nd book had come out like right after I read this, but at this point I just like don't really see a desire or a need to continue this series. Next up, it's been a long time coming with this one, okay? Lord of the Rings. I've read The Hobbit and I read the first book, but Two Towers I have attempted to read. I've attempted to audiobook. I can't do the audiobook of this. These are just such hard reads for me because it is so detailed. Excuse my dog's barking in the background. I want to read it. I love these movies. Like I watched them with my dad as a kid, so like there's a nostalgia there, but I just don't know, like I'm not picking this one up. Like, you know, when I have a list of all these other books, this one just seems like, oh, it's gonna take a million years, so I'm gonna keep putting it off. But I would like to one day eventually finish this because I love the movies. But right now I just don't think it's in the cards for me. The next one I think is getting a 3rd book. I'm not 100% positive on that one, but it is the Ninth House series. I read Ninth House. I loved Ninth House. Okay, I really liked Ninth House, but there was time in between Ninth House and Hellbent, and so I feel like I need to do a reread of Ninth House, and I think that I could get behind doing that, but that's the only reason I've been putting off reading Hellbent, is because I feel like I need to reread Ninth House before I read this one, and I'm just not ready for that yet. Will I ever be? I don't know, but I do want to finish this. I do love Leigh Bardugo. And I did love the first one. So maybe one day, maybe one day. The next one is one that I am starting to lean more towards not ever finishing this series. But it's the last book, so I feel like I just should. And it's the Atlas 6 series. I loved the Atlas 6. I felt very meh about the second book. And this is the third book. Still have not read it. I've literally had it on my shelf forever. I just don't know if I want to at this point. Like, the second book was very to me, and I just don't know that this one's gonna be any better. But at the same time, it's literally the only book left in the series. Like, I might as well just finish it and like be done with the series. I don't know. Someone needs to tell me if this book is good or not, because the second book was not. The next one is the Last Hour series. I read the first book, Chain of Gold? I don't know. I will be finishing this, just probably not anytime soon. I read these with a friend of mine, so like we haven't discussed continuing this series yet. But this is the last Shadowhunter series I have not read, and I just did not really like the first book. Like, it was okay. I read it, and I will read this because it's Cassandra Clare and because Shadowhunters holds a special place in my heart. But this is more character driven than plot driven compared to her other books, and I don't love that much. Like, it felt like not a lot happened in the first book, which is why I'm putting this one off. I also know people did not like the ending of the third book, so it makes me want to put it off even more. But I know eventually I will get to this because I just have to. Next up is a duology, and I do plan on finishing this. It is The Isles of Cadence. I read A River Enchanted. I have Fire Endless somewhere. I'm not sure exactly. It might be in my car. And I did really enjoy this book. I actually read it fairly quickly, and it's just a duology. I just haven't felt like picking up Fire Endless yet, so I definitely plan on it. I'm thinking maybe once it's like summer, that is when I'm going to decide probably to pick this up, the next book. But I do plan on finishing this. Rebecca Ross, everything you do I love. Okay, I love it. Next up is another series. I actually thought about unhauling it, to be honest. And it's the Knock 'Em Out series. So I read the first book and I didn't really care, but I had a friend that loved this series so much, so I picked this one up when there were still only 2 books out, and I never read it. I don't think I ever will. I don't like how like large these books are for a romance. It feels like a waste of pages. And I just didn't like the first one enough, I think, to read the next one. And I know people love this series. It's not my kind of romance, I guess. I don't know. I'm probably never gonna finish it. I'm honestly probably gonna unhaul these because I only have the first and second book, and they're just wasting space on my shelves. I actually think I'm gonna do a huge unhauling of my romance shelves because there's a lot of those books. I just don't see myself ever rereading them, and they don't matter enough to me. Like, I already know I want to get rid of all of my Colleen Hoover books because I have grown out of that. I've grown as a human being, okay, since I had a Colleen Hoover obsession. And so I think I need a major unhaul in the romance department of my bookshelves. Next up we have Dune. So I've read Dune and Dune Messiah. It is very questionable. I didn't like Dune Messiah, so I don't think that I will finish the series. But part of me wants to. I don't know why. I just like feel like I need to know like what happens, even if it's not good. This book itself was hard for me to get through, so this is very questionable. Someone tell me if I should read the next one after Dune Messiah or not, because I'm undecided on this one right here. Next up is Red Rising. Okay, I read Red Rising over a year ago and never picked up the second book. I want to, but I also just feel like so much happened in Red Rising that I almost don't remember half of it. Like, I know major plot points. I just fear that I waited too long to read this one. I tried to audiobook it, but I found myself not paying attention. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna physically read it. I don't know, one of my friends just read these, absolutely was obsessed with them, would love for me to read them, but I just don't know when I will. Cause it's heavy sci-fi. And I liked the first book, it just, I don't know. I hear the second, like the new series, Dark Age, is like one of the better books. I just don't know when I'm gonna be, this is the problem of being a mood reader. I don't know when I'm gonna be in the mood for it. But I do want to finish it eventually. This is another one that I actually do not think that I'm going to end up finishing. It's a Twisted series. I read Twisted Love and Twisted Games. I read like the first 20 something pages of Twisted Hate. Never picked it back up. And I have the last one as well. I have all of them. I just don't think that this is the vibe for me anymore. And I don't know. Might unhaul them. Maybe if I'm like really feeling it, I'll finish it. But I mean, it's been a hot minute since I read the first two. And I keep honestly forgetting it's even on my shelf. So I'm not sure if I'm ever going to finish this book or not. Or the series for that matter. Okay, next up we have the Touch of Darkness series. I will finish this. This is the very last book that I need to read. Touch of Chaos. It's huge. I have had to space these out. And I recently finally did Game of Retribution. I think that was the last one. So I do want to know how this ends. Because it kind of like sets up some crazy stuff to happen in this book. It wasn't Game of Retribution, it was Game of Gods. Yeah, so I did finish Game of Gods. This is just, I haven't finished it. I will eventually, but I read one of these and I'm burnt out on it. You know what I mean? So maybe this summer. I'm thinking soon though, because I do want to be done. I mean, I've read all the other ones, so I do want to finish this series. It's gonna happen eventually. Next up is Scythe. I actually read this last month and I did go get the next book, but I've been deep in my Cosmere journey, which is why I have not continued it. But this is a series I will be continuing. The ending of this book was so good and I enjoyed it way more than I thought I would. So I do intend on finishing the Scythe series. I might read it next month, the next book, because after I finish Way of Kings I have an immediate TBR, and then I think I might pick up Thunderhead. But yeah, I definitely plan on finishing this series. All right, and then the last one that I can think of other than the series I'm currently reading, but that's a work in progress, is An Ember in the Ashes. And I know I've read the first 3 books, there's only one left. I just have been putting it off. I read the last one last summer, so maybe I will finish this series this summer. I've been stretching these out for a really long time as well. But I do want to finish it. I wish that I had had the last book when I originally started reading them, because I read the first 2 back to back and really liked them, and then I waited a really long time to read the 3rd one and was slightly confused. And so I'm worried I'm going to be slightly confused at this one as well. But I want to know how they end this series, and I am kind of scared actually. Based on what I've seen people say about it, I'm kind of scared. But I do intend to finish it. I intend to finish most of these, but as a mood reader, you go where the wind takes you. And none of them have called to me lately. But I've also been in not the best of vibes for reading up until like last month when I finished Mistborn. So those are all of the ones that I could actively think of that I have started and not finished, and if I'm going to finish them or not. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.